I've been in full-time employment for the past 32 years. But I was recently made redundant, and on the 14th of May, I walked out of my place of employment for what I hope will be the last time in my life. My friends and family have kind of constantly been saying to me since, Andrea, what are you going to do? And do you know what I say to them? I say, I'm going to do happy, I'm going to do contented, and I'm going to do master of my own destiny. I'm on a quest for financial freedom. And in this video, I want to tell you a little bit about my hopes and aspirations around that, but also to specifically tell you about my strategy in Safuu, which I really see as key to helping me to achieve my goals and my dreams.
Living life every day, late at night, not okay. All I want, and I pray, all I need are some better days. Yeah.
So welcome, friend. Today's video is powered by Earl Grey tea. Oh, I just love its smokiness. So please pull up a pew, come on, take a seat. Just a few minutes, we're just going to chill and chat. And chat is all we're going to do because I'm not going to give you financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. So please, if you do anything in the crypto space, do your own research. That being said, let's get into the video. Actually, sorry, there's one more thing I just need to cover off before we get into the video. This is my second video on this channel. I published my first one only probably about 48 hours ago, and I have to say a huge thank you to anybody and everybody that has sent me encouragement, liked that video, watched it, subscribed to my channel, commented. I am overwhelmed, and at this point I have already 115 subscribers, which I just can't say thank you enough. I do want to do a very special shout out to the Safuu community, and especially Daniel Prado, who, if you are familiar with the Safuu community, he is one of the YouTube gods of Safuu. But in yesterday's video that he uploaded, he did a really special shout out to me and my new video, and I know that it promoted a lot of watch time for my new video. So thank you, Daniel. But I would say there are a collection of amazing YouTubers on Safuu who put out some really fantastic content about the project. I will link them in the description below, so please do go along and support them, especially Daniel, but all of the others as well. They're absolutely top notch. Okay, now we'll get into it. So I think the idea of financial freedom is a really interesting one, and actually will mean different things to different people. My perspective is I am recognizing that I have and continue to have an incredibly blessed life that I am grateful for every day. I have amazing family and friends. I have two wonderful children who are young adults and forging their own way in their life. I have been married to my wonderful husband, the love of my life, for over 29 years. I have my health, and I've always been very successful in my professional world as well. And so much so that before I was made redundant quite recently, I was earning a very, very good salary. So why do I feel the need to do something different? I think there's quite a few reasons. I think there's something to do with my age. And it's amazing, once you get that other side of 50, things do start looking a little bit differently. And, you know, we talk about a midlife crisis. Mine isn't that. Mine's a midlife opportunity. But again, it just makes you see things from a different perspective once you reach that kind of age. But also, I guess I was getting to a stage in my job, I kind of enjoyed it, but I was losing my way a little bit with it. It wasn't fulfilling me, and I was getting to that stage, getting up in the morning thinking, oh gosh, there's so much to do today, and I kind of lost the love of it, for want of a better word. And it just really got me thinking about, actually, what am I doing with my time? My time should be spent doing things that make my soul sing, and my job was no longer doing that. So that's kind of where I've come from in terms of my need to change the way that I live my life, and I'm labeling that as looking for financial freedom. I'm a big fan of having strategies in your life in order to achieve. And I very quickly realised a few weeks ago that I needed a strategy in order to help me along the road to financial freedom. Now, don't phase over when I talk about strategies. There's a great definition of strategy and what it actually is, and that is as follows. Strategy is the science of ensuring future success. I think that's brilliant, and it encapsulates exactly what a strategy is. So my strategy is based on diversification of income. And as such, I'm working on lots of different projects at the moment, some within the crypto space and some not. Now, I'm not going to go into all of those today. I'm going to go into one specific project within the crypto space, which is Safuu. But do bear in mind that Safuu is just one part of my portfolio, and that I am looking at other things to bring in additional passive income and potential long-term wealth. So, but this is about Safuu. I did in my first video, which I'll link up here, talk in a little bit more detail about why I like Safuu, why I'm in it, and the amazing opportunity that it provides. But I just want to talk now in a little bit more detail in terms of how I'm managing my Safuu tokens in order to ensure that I am on the road to not only building long-term wealth, but also taking a passive income. I just wanted to make it clear that I'm basing my Safuu strategy on the facts and figures that I know currently about Safuu, and that is that the very high APY will continue for Safuu until the end of February. Now, we also know that there's an incredibly exciting development in the pipeline before Christmas, and that is the development of Safuu as a blockchain, or Safuu X. Now, undoubtedly my strategy will change, but at the moment I don't know enough about the facts and figures to build a strategy around it. So I think it is important to recognise that strategies can flex, but for now I'm kind of putting all of that to one side and basing my strategy exactly on what I know to be true as fact. So I hold my Safuu tokens across 3 different wallets, and each of those wallets has a very distinct purpose. So let's get into wallet number 1. Wallet number 1 was my initial investment wallet. It's where I bought my first Safuu. It's very dear to my heart. I bought my first Safuu in mid-March, on the 15th of March. I invested about $800 at that point because the price of the token was at $170 approximately, and I bought 4.8 Safuu. At that point, I didn't have any strategy or thinking about long-term anything. I just thought it was an interesting project that I wanted to get into. So I bought 4.8 Safuu. I've done nothing, had to do nothing with those tokens. I am building long-term wealth with the use of this wallet. And currently my the amount of tokens in that wallet stands at almost 58 tokens. So from doing nothing, it's increased from 4.8 to 58-ish. That's incredible, right? But the opportunity in this wallet, which I will be holding and not touching these tokens. The opportunity is that they will transform into approximately 13,000 tokens by the end of February. That's incredible, right? Let's just do a little bit of price calculation on that. So if it was terrible and Safuu went to $1 per token, it's not going to. But if it did, I've still got $13,000 sat there from doing nothing. But imagine if it was at $50 a token, $80 a token, $100 a token. By the end of February, my bag of tokens will be worth, this is pre-tax and all that, but my bag of tokens will be worth approximately $1,300,000. That sounds pretty good to me. So that's wallet number one. Definitely holding on to them for dear life and building long-term wealth. So let's get into wallet number two. So wallet number two is, in terms of strategy, is very similar to wallet number one, as I see it as a way of building long-term wealth. So I, again, have no intentions of touching wallet number two. I'm going to hold on to those tokens until at least into February. The big difference is, though, that I'm dedicating this wallet to my children. I want to be able to contribute something towards their financial future. And so it is a much smaller wallet, but still will hopefully yield a really good return by the end of February. So just looking at my laptop, I bought 2.3 Safuu at the beginning of April. It cost me, again, the token price was about, I think by then, about 160 or so. So I invested somewhere about $350 mark, I think. So 2.3 tokens at that point has now turned into over 24 tokens. Again, I've done nothing to them. I've just held on to them. I haven't added to them or taken away, just held. But again, the opportunity is holding on to them long term. And if I hold on to those tokens by the end of February, I should be looking at approximately 5,500 tokens. So a smaller bag, but still, if the price of Safuu is at $100, then of course we're looking there at a return of over $500,000 US to split between my two children, which I'm sure they will appreciate. So that leads us to wallet number three, which is by far my largest wallet and, quite frankly, where all of the magic happens. Because wallet number three is still central as the other two wallets to building my long-term wealth, but it is the key to pulling down passive income, which means that I don't necessarily have to go out and find full-time employment for the foreseeable future. I first created wallet number three on about the 10th of May, which was really about the time then it became really, really obvious that we were going into a serious bear market. And of course, bear markets bring amazing opportunities. And certainly with the tumble of the price of Safuu alongside all of the other coins and tokens, suddenly I was given the opportunity to potentially think about Safuu in a different way, and think of it as providing me with passive income. But I knew that this would only work if I had a volume of tokens within my wallet. And so I started buying in May and probably bought at certainly 6 different price points, ranging from the highest of $55 down to the lowest at about $11. And by the end of May, beginning of June, between my purchasing and the auto compounding that had happened in that few weeks, I had almost 600 tokens sat in wallet number three. I then formulated my passive income plan, which I hope you can see somewhere here. Basically what you see there in front of you is my each month, the calculation of what I begin the month with, what I end the month with following that 4 weeks of auto compounding, and then the maximum number of Safuu that I would take at the end of that month. That total, actually, as you'll see in column 4, that does vary depending on the month. I know, for example, that in September we're hoping to be on holiday, and I have a holiday fund set aside, so we won't necessarily need as much income during that month. But for example, in November, I also know that Christmas is around the corner and I might want to take a little bit more to have a bit of a cushion. But the really, really impressive thing about the Safuu project and the potential is you will see if I take the maximum number of Safuu tokens as stated in column 4, I will still be left at the end of February with the number in the third column in the last row in red, which is 130,762 tokens. So just to rephrase that, I will be taking passive income between now and the end of February each month. But in this wallet, I will still be left with over 130,000 tokens. It is breathtaking. And I know I say it's breathtaking so many times when I'm talking about Safuu. But this is real. These are real calculations. I have already taken my first month. You'll see in June, I took 300 tokens at the end of June, just a few days ago. It amounted to approximately 3,500 tokens, $3,500. That's after sell tax. So that's what I actually received into my bank. And as you'll see, I've made that calculation against each month and I still end up with that huge amount of tokens at the end. And again, you know, the who knows what the price will be by then. If it's $100, I'm going to be very, very, very wealthy for quite some time. I realise that at this point there may well be many people shouting at me, those in the Safuu community shouting at me saying, do not sell your tokens. And I get that, because every token that is sold is in many respects complete and utter wasted opportunity of what that token might turn into come a few months down the line. However, I think what I would say in response is that I have thought long and hard about this strategy. I recognise that selling Safuu is a short-term gain. However, for me and my circumstances, I cannot put a price on the ability to pull down passive income, which means that I do not have to go and find full-time employment. For me, my journey, my personal circumstances, that is everything. And the freedom that I am now feeling as a result of that is priceless. So I do understand the price I am paying for doing that, but the Safuu protocol is set up not only for long-term gain, but to also take passive income if that's how you want to manage your tokens. And that for me, well, it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer for me, my circumstances, and the way that I want to live my life. I do have some little personal rules that I've formed along the way. Certainly, if I don't need to take the Safuu tokens at the end of each month because other projects are bringing me income, or you know, I'm getting income from elsewhere, I want to preserve as many Safuu tokens as I possibly can within this third wallet. It may be that perhaps, for example, one month I just need to take 100, either because I'm getting income from another project, or the price of Safuu has gone up so high that that's all I need to take. And in that case, I will consider at that point whether I leave the remaining tokens for that month in the wallet, or whether I might transfer them into my other two wallets to bolster and you know, really make those two wallets come along quicker than they currently are. So lots of decisions still to be made as we go. It's all very much dependent on price, but I'm really hopeful that this video has helped to enlighten you on my thinking around Safuu and my strategy in terms of the three wallets that I hold. And just to give a final figure across those three wallets, if I execute that plan, then by the end of February, not only will I have taken my passive income each month, but I will also still have across the 3 wallets approximately 150,000 Safuu tokens, and depending on the price of Safuu, that will hopefully be, as I said, that long-term wealth that I'm building towards. So I really hope you've enjoyed this video. What I would say is this is my strategy, and it's very personal to me and my unique situation. We are all unique and have unique lives. And this is my plan based on where I am in my life, the fact that I've worked for those 2 years, I've brought up my children, we've paid off our mortgage, etc., etc. I do have savings in the bank that mean if all of my passive income plays fell apart tomorrow, I could probably be okay for at least a year because of the savings that we have. So that's my situation, and I wouldn't expect you to try to replicate what I'm doing because you have your own circumstances. But I do hope that, you know, maybe this has given you something to think about if you are in Safuu, how you might use different wallets. But if you're not in Safuu, I just hope that it's at least sparked something within you to go and look at this incredible, incredible project. Just look at it with open eyes and an open mind and do some calculations. Look at the calculator, throw some figures in there, look at what 10 Safuu might turn into in a few months and weigh up whether it's worth you putting in some investment. Yeah, I hope you find that of interest. If you want to follow my journey, then please do like this video, but also consider subscribing to my channel. Really thankful again for every bit of support that I've been given and I'm going to be given in the future. So thank you, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye bye for now. Cheers.
Living life every day, late at night, not okay. All I want, and I pray, all I need are some better days.